Head coach power rankings by CBS Sports got Kirby Smart at the top, Brian Kelly at 2. Any names stand out, or how would you, I guess, maneuver this list?
Well, before you answer, Shaun, I apologize in advance. I really don't, but I'm just fucking with it. Smitty. Kalen DeBoer, is he underrated? Are we actually kind of dismissing the fact of how good of a coach he is? Because I think we've already on this show have kind of said, well, Saban left, 30 transfers. DeBoer is going to struggle. Lucky to win 6-7 games. Are we kind of like, man, this guy might be that motherfucker. He just signed a big-time 4-star recruit that a lot of cats didn't think he would get. Is he undervalued? Can he shock some people in this thing?
I mean, they do have him 4th, so it's not like he's on
yeah. Big list, though. This on 3 guy, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I think some of it might be a little whoever followed Saban, they probably think is going to fail at some level. You know, even if you succeed, are you going to be able to live up to what Saban was? You know, I saw this list about a week ago, and the thing that really jumped out to me was, damn, out of 16 programs, not one minority head coach in the SEC.
No.
That was what jumped out to me. It was like, I mean, come on, what's going on?
They got rid of my boy at Vanderbilt a couple years ago. D. Mason's a good friend of mine. Derek's a hell of a. I talk to him all the time on text. He's a great dude. He's now at he's down at Tennessee or at
Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee, and then James left Vanderbilt after building that thing up.
Penn State. Yeah, that was when I looked at. I was like, good God Almighty. I mean,
but here's the thing I got, like
the minority representation in the SEC.
Yeah, that's the good old boy league now. This right here, Sam Pittman being that low, blows my mind.
Just because him and Napier on the hot seat, that's why I think they're where they're at.
Yeah, but I would never have Napier above him. Napier would be last on this list for me.
Really?
Yeah, he's not ready for Power 5 football. Knowing him. And here's the bottom line is he got that job because of staffs that he worked under. You know this better than anybody. And the people that, if you talk about his structure there, he has no control of staff, player, you name it. The discipline lacks thereof at that level. And there's no way I'd have him even that high. Sounds crazy at 13, but he's high to me. And I don't know if you heard the news, but Kermani McClain has now also in hot water there under his watch. Last year, I did a video, cat slapping his staff member going back in the game. This is an ongoing thing with this guy. And he's the first one to get fired, in my opinion. He will be fired during the season, in my opinion. And I hate to wish that on any grown man or coach, because in the profession, they're so hard to come by. But I just believe at Florida, Shaun, I don't think mediocrity can last this much longer. They're mediocrity or below right now, aren't they?
Right. I mean,
so, go ahead. Sorry.
If the one interesting one to me, because I think the list is, I mean, once you get to 6, I mean, you could kind of argue a little bit about some things. Like Hugh Freeze has probably done more on his previous tenure, in the SEC than Stoops or Eli.
He did beat Nick. I think he beat Nick twice.
Right.
I think he beat Nick twice. Yeah.
Then to have Elko, I guess, who hadn't coached the SEC game as a head coach yet. Like to me, like, how are you? Is it the SEC head coach rankings? To me, you have to have at least a year in the SEC to be above some of these guys. You know,
that's why I couldn't put DeBoer above Lane or Drink. I couldn't put those guys above those guys, in my opinion.
I wouldn't push back on that at all. Like, I think Mike Elko's gonna do a hell of a job at A&M, but he hadn't done it yet. So, like, some of these guys, I think they got to prove it in the league.
Right, and Stoops has done last few years miraculously there. Argue he could have been the A&M coach right now, but I think him and Lane should both bump up. Steve jumped up because he went to playoff. Let's be honest.
And if you look at it, Kirby and Brian have both played a national title game. Sark and DeBoer are coming off of being in the college football playoff. DeBoer playing in the national title game, so there's some recency to this too. Because Lane should be on top of both of them, just based on what they've done in the SEC.
And I'll be honest, Shane Beamer is a guy to watch climb, in my opinion, because of what he's doing there. Quietly is kept. No one really wants to talk about it. I believe he's actually building something there.
I just don't think he's going to ever be able to get a good enough
I agree with
players.
that. I agree with that. But I do know that he's got the lineage with his father.
Yeah,
He's
done a great job of galvanizing Columbia and making them believe in, like, you know, the culture and his vision. I just don't think if he can get, I don't think he can, one, get, and two, keep the level of player it would take to really win something in the SEC.
We shall see, man. In a few weeks, we're going to find out. But let's move from the SEC to the Big Ten, Bradley. Put that graphic up there for me. Here we go. Ryan Day at the top. Dan Lang, number 2. Lincoln Riley, number 3. James Franklin at 4. And Luke Fickell at 5. I feel like this list has a little bit more discussion, I would say. You guys have a problem with Ryan Day at the top?
Hey, no, not at all. But you can't never put Lincoln Riley ahead of Kirk Ferentz or James Franklin.
No,
get the hell out of Dodge. Or Luke Fickell. Come on, man. Ferentz been in the game how long? And he been doing it at what level? And with what kind of personnel? Come on, man. You got to give Ferentz his credit.
I was good. They compete every year.
This list kind of bothers me here. Let's get to brass tacks here. Brett Bielema. Listen, I've known Brett a long time, but
he should be higher.
I think he should be lower.
Okay.
There's no way he's ahead of Mike Loxley right now.
I was gonna say Loxley would definitely be on the left side.
I would have Loxley at least. I would have Loxley ahead of Luke Fickell.
Like, what has Jed Fish done to be ahead of Loxley?
And Jonathan Smith's been in the Pac-12 forever. I know some teams moved over there, but Jonathan Smith has done a good job at Oregon State. But I don't know if he's. I don't know. And Matt Rule's won everywhere he's been. He's just getting going again back in this league. PJ Fleck's a fucking fraud. I'm going to tell you straight out.
Hey, PJ Fleck was in the MAC when I was playing in Western Michigan.
Greg Schiano's, I think, you know, as great of a mind, he's kind of like on the other side of the hill. Signetti's a good coach, but he hasn't even. Ryan Walters is a young kid. This list is crazy to me. Sharon Moore went 6-0 as a replacement for Harbaugh. He's at 15, and Luke Fickell, because he had a good run at Cincinnati,
right, is at 5. Like, this,
and now we got him at 5, and he didn't do shit last year at Wisconsin.
Man. Yeah, this is some bullshit.
This is crazy.
Hey, I love the SEC. You know, we were all like, you know, it's cool. I would change a few things. I mean, you know, it's all good. The Big Ten, y'all was pissed. That just changed the whole energy. I love it.
Jeez.
Man. But like you said, hey, that film won't lie here in a few weeks, and that's why I can't wait for football season to actually start.
Sharon Moore went undefeated as the interim head coach last year for Harbaugh, and he's like 9 spots behind Jed Fish.
Yeah,
I
guess the only pushback would be, I guess they're looking at maybe overall experience though.
What has Jed Fish done?
True.
Nothing. He's a nepotism hire because he was Bill Belichick. He was Bill Belichick's guy. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. He had one good year, ass end of the year last year at Arizona. Like, let's be honest. What else has he done in college?